Hi everyone, this is Balazs from RacingBrick. The Bricklink Designer Program is back, this time with the 4th series, and I've brought you the biggest set of this batch, the Wild West train. You've seen the models of the first 3 series on the channel. We had the old train engine shed, then the logging railway, and the camping adventure. We are back to trains, which seem to be quite popular in the program, but what is it exactly? A quick summary in case you are not familiar. The BDP program is run by Bricklink, and since Bricklink is now part of LEGO, these are official sets, so to speak. The program is similar to LEGO Ideas, but the designers also have to create instructions, and the design is kept as close to the original as possible. This has changed slightly in Series 4 by the way, but more on that later. The crowdfunding phase of Series 4 starts on the 4th of February. These are the 5 designs you can choose from. I have linked this page in the description. Here you will find the details of the sets with a longer description, interview with the designers, price, piece count and so on. All the sets that reach the threshold of 3000 pre-orders will be produced, and there will be a maximum run of 30,000. Based on the previous phases, popular models may reach this limit within a few hours, while others will be available until the end of the pre-order window. This series seems to use more brown parts than ever before, and the sets are also larger. Let's take a closer look at the Wild West train and its designer. The set was designed by Lukasz Liczuk, and this isn't his first successful BDP contribution. He also designed the general store that was in Series 1, and if you recognize a pattern here, you are not wrong. Lukasz is a big fan of the Wild West, and he even designed a whole little mining settlement called Lucky Town. As he said, he focuses mainly on the buildings and their functions. The concept is to build some sort of realistic historical modular buildings. The general store and now the train are available through the BDP program. He also has 2 projects submitted to LEGO Ideas, the blacksmith and the train station, which are currently under review. And he has also made some of the buildings available on Rebrickable. Since the train really needs the station, I asked him what will happen with this design if it is not selected for Ideas. He said he might rework it for the BDP program, so there's still a chance to combine it with the train later. But for now, let's focus on the build itself. It has 3192 pieces, comes with 12 minifigures, and costs 280 euros or dollars. The set number is 910044. Interestingly, the original submission had fewer cars and minifigures and about 500 fewer elements. I couldn't find the exact number, but here are a few renderings of the submission. Here is the final version next to it. You can see the extra flatbed wagon, more minifigures and 2 more horses. Originally, the single horse was in the last wagon because Lukasz really wanted to include a horse, so the boxcar was built for that purpose. So, why these extensive changes when the goal of the BDP program was always to stick to the original design as much as possible? Well, as I was told, there was an interesting reason for this change. The original design used 7 track pieces, but because of the way they are produced and packaged, 8 had to be used in the production version. There was either the option of having a longer base with a shorter train, but the people at Bricklink and the designer himself saw this as an opportunity, so this extra wagon was added, and with the piano, the safe, more horses and the bandits, an extra train robbery story was developed for the set. I'm sure there are people who would prefer the original setup and others who just want a train without the extra side builds, but let's see what we get here. A little disclaimer before we begin. This is a pre-release version of the set, the inventory is finalized, but the instructions still need a few months of refinement, so my notes on the build process might be improved in the final version. The build starts with the tracks, nothing special here. You have to be careful when moving the assembly due to the size, but it holds. The next element is the windmill. This Technic part fits in really well here. It was previously only available in the Ninjago City markets in reddish brown. The windmill turns and it works. Too bad that a blue pin was used in the middle, especially because we have a similar but tan frictionless pin at the back. It does make sense, as the blue version holds the 2 sets of blades in the correct position, but you can swap the pins for display if you want to. Lukasz told me that he likes to add little details like the pump under the windmill. The next build is the water tower, which has a different structure and is perhaps the most fragile part of the whole build. Adding this middle section is quite a challenge. I hope there will be an easier way to finish this assembly. The container on top has quite a complicated internal structure, but luckily you don't have to align the elements and the tiles attached to the sides exactly, as some irregularities add to the look of the finished tower. We also have some bottles and a skull on the base. The first item of the train you need to build is the boxcar. It has a very unique structure with the different plates used vertically like wooden planks. I really like that. It has a sliding door that works well and has a lot of space inside for the horse and other accessories. The next one is the passenger carriage, which is structurally quite different. It is good for the building experience. I like the rounded corners and the brick build details on the outside. There are also plenty of space inside, the minifigures can sit down, and there is even a luggage rack. The only downside is the limited function of the door, which cannot be opened fully as the railing is in the way. Here is the additional flatbed wagon with a very nice piano and a safe, the target for the bandits. It is held in place by these ropes, and you will find some money and gold inside. You have to be careful with the door though, as the hinge is only held by 2 studs. The tender has a nice and clean design, the top can be removed, and as you can see there is plenty of space inside. It was specially designed to fit the components for the motorization, more on that later. The last item you can build is this locomotive. It has a nice color scheme and lots of details all around. The cowcatcher on the front is surprisingly sturdy and it uses the connecting rods from the Orient Express set. The assembly was a bit tricky here too, as the cylinder pieces had to be attached sideways and a lot of smaller additional parts had to be attached to them. So, here's the finished train, and here are all the minifigures in the set. There are quite a few, and there's a wide range of designs and accessories, as well as 2 additional horses to the one in the carriage. There are several stickered elements all around the train. The number 44 has been chosen to represent the number of the set, 910044. The end result is quite remarkable and reaches almost to the end of the tracks. For comparison, here is the logging railway from Series 2. As you can see, the new train is even longer than the bridge that was built for that one, and you get a much more detailed train this time, but of course the design and purpose is different. For the motorization, you only need the city hub and the train motor, optionally also a remote, and some additional parts. These are not included in the set. I will do the conversion and show it to you in a separate video, which will be published before the crowdfunding starts. Why not now? I want to do some testing first and also give you the opportunity to ask questions about the set, which I will try to answer in the second video. Let me know if there are any details you want to see, any specific kind of LEGO tracks to test it on. Please share your thoughts and questions about this build in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications because more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.